Hello everyone. I'm going to explain what's the principle of competitive ELISA. So the use of competitive ELISA is to know the concentration of antigen or antibody. In this example, I'm going to explain on how to know concentration of antibody. Okay, so let's proceed. First one, there's a serum with antibodies and also antigen A. So this serum with antibodies is the concentration of antibodies that we want to measure. So the antibody will bind specifically with antigen A. And then there is also another antibody which will bind with A antigen, which is enzyme-linked anti-A antibody. The only difference is that this antibody is binded with an enzyme. What this enzyme does is this enzyme will bind with chromogenic substrate and produce blue color product. So what is the function of this will be explained later. And then after that, microtiter well is coated with A antigen. Then we add the two antibody into the well. Okay, so now they will competitive within each other to bind the antigen. Then there are two possible results. First one is if the antibody from the serum is more compared to the enzyme-linked antibody, then most of the antigen will binded by the antibody from the serum. The second possible result is if the enzyme link is more than the antibody from the serum, then most of the antigens will be binded by enzyme-linked antibody. So antibodies that have higher concentration will win the competition. This is what it means. And then the well is then washed to remove unbound antibodies. Okay, next. After that, we want to know how to measure, right? So we add of chromogenic substrate, which have been mentioned just now. So chromogenic substrate, such as horseradish peroxidase, is added, followed by incubation, and the reaction is stopped by adding strong acid. What this substrate do is they will bind to the enzyme anti-A antibody, just enzyme antibody only. The antibody from the serum will not bind with the substrate. And then the enzyme plus substrate, they produce the product is blue color. And then we can interpret the result. If the blue product is formed, means there will be lower blue intensity. And then when we measure with spectrophotometer, less absorbance is measured. So means the concentration of anti-A antibodies in serum is small, and vice versa. Vice versa means everything is vice versa if more blue product is formed. We also can determine the concentration of antibodies by standard graph. Since we already know the absorbance, and then from the graph, y-axis is absorbance, x-axis is concentration of antibodies. So from the standard graph, we can know how many concentration of antibodies inside the sample. Okay, that's all. Thank you.